Hello people and welcome back to another episode of the DadsR'Us Podcast featuring myself, who is Kaii, my co-host Jem the engineer, and our special guest Jake. So thank you for coming down, my bro. I know the commute wasn't easy, so I appreciate you being here.
No problem, man. It's good to be here, man.
Definitely.
So introduce yourself to the world, man. Like your name's Jake. Where you from, and like how many kids do you have? And tell us your story. We want to get to know you, man.
Yeah. So my name's Jake. I got one son. He's 5 years old. And yeah, I'm just a normal guy. Like I work hard. I do a little bit of little event promoting on the side as well.
That's how I know you, in fact.
Yeah, that's how we met, obviously. So yeah, I'm just a grafter, man. I like to work. I like to be busy, keep active, and just
I love to see it. I love to hear it.
To be proactive, definitely.
So one thing I want to just big you up for is for being an active dad, because I know it's not hard, and I know the previous generations.
Easy, you mean?
Yeah, sorry, it's not easy.
Yeah,
thank you for correcting me. It's not easy. Cause again, the previous generation before us wasn't around like the way how our generation seems to be more around our kids. So big up yourself at the end of the day. So tell us a bit about your story. So like, how old was you when you had your first child, and what was the experience like for you?
Like we like asking dads, how was the feeling when you found out
for the first time?
All right. Like, see, it's a good story actually. So I was with my son's mum for years and years. So she told me, well, she got pregnant when I was 25. I'm 31 now, and at the time when she got pregnant, we were living with my mum and dad. Excuse me, saving to buy a house. Yeah. So we living in my little sister's old room, yeah? That's where we're staying, and my parents' house. And we're saving. So I remember that it was February, it was near my birthday, my 25th birthday, and we've been viewing houses, yeah? We've been viewing, because it was about the time that we had the money to go for it, yeah? To put deposit down and get somewhere. So I remember getting a call about 3 days before my birthday to say, your offer's been accepted. Boom, 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 yeah? So I'm gassed, happy.
I know it is.
Because I'm thinking, yeah, like we're gonna get out of my parents' house. We've been there for about 14 months, yeah? It's just saving. So yeah, so I get the call, happy days. Then it's my birthday. I'm 25, like I've got a yard on the way. Everything's blessed. But obviously, the process of buying a house is not as easy as renting. Like, there's things that have, checks you got to pass, the survey on the house, etc. All of that stuff has to be accounted for. That when you get your offer accepted, that's literally the start. That doesn't mean anything. Like, you got to pass all the checks and balances after that. So I think, the solicitor kind of said, look, it's going to take 2 to 3 months from your offer being accepted for you to move in, yeah? So fast forward maybe 3 weeks after my birthday, my ex tells me, my missus at the time, she tells me she's pregnant. So now...
How did she tell you though?
Okay, the technical side.
Was it all I want to know, was it a phone call, text?
No, we were together. So I've come in from work. I've gone up to my little sister's old room, the little box that we're staying in, and she's like, I've got some news, I've got something to tell you. So I'm like, okay. She tells me she's pregnant, and I just remember I was sitting on the bed, and it's like, you know in movies where the person's being told something and then
you're not taking it in.
The person speaking to them, their voice goes on mute, yeah, and the person that's receiving the information is in the clouds. That was me. My head was just spun. Yeah. Because he wasn't planned. I always had intentions to have a child with her. So that was all fine. I'm having a child with, our situation.
It's just how it came about.
You were surprised at the time. You were just
the
like,
timing.
It's happening.
Because I'm thinking the major event of this year is moving into a new house. I'm not thinking nothing else.
But you know what it is? You could have the house, you could have the whole, you get me? You get married and all of that. And it's like, you could then try, but doesn't mean it will happen. These unplanned things, I always say, sometimes the unplanned is the best way. because it automatically makes you realize, like, boom, you know what, you won't instantly become a dad, but you instantly become a man.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it makes you kind of, your whole mentality change.
Yeah, because you immediately, it took me about 3 days, I'm not going to lie, to actually...
process
it. Just to get my head around everything that's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking now, what if the sale of the house falls through?
Mm-hmm.
And we end... Because obviously, if that falls through, we've got to go back to find somewhere, start this whole process again.
All over again.
And she found out quite late.
Okay.
Yeah? So she's a good 3.5 months pregnant when she finds out. Yeah? So...
She didn't have any feeling or anything like...
Eventually she did, which is what led her to take a pregnancy test. Yeah.
Okay.
But she's a small, slim girl, and so she wasn't showing at all. So there was no kind of inkling on my side to think, is she or isn't she? Neither of us had any idea. Even at my birthday, she's having a drink. Like she's clueless.
Yeah.
So cool. So now I'm thinking, well, if this baby comes and the yard don't go through, man's gonna be with me, my missus, and a little baby in a little box room in my parents' house. This can't happen. Like,
things have to change.
We need to get this yard. Yeah. So then obviously, I'm putting pressure on the solicitors. You name it, I'm on them. Like, listen.
So at this point, did they know that you was expecting a child?
No. So I didn't really explain why I was putting the pressure on. I just let them know that as quickly as we can move, we need to move. So then obviously, again, just dads and men in general, we think logically, and we, in circumstances where things are changing, finances are on our mind, money's on our mind.
Always.
Are we good? So you got to remember, I'm moving into this yard on the basis that we're two people, both working, double income, no kids, dinks. That's what they call them. So I'm thinking, I'll be able to pattern this. She can pattern 1 or 2 bills on her side, and everything's blessed. Now, I'm thinking maternity leave.
Yeah. The whole nother person to think
one
about.
Income, 3 mouths. I'm thinking, whoa, how's this gonna work? So, but obviously at the time, thankfully I was doing very well, which even put me in a position to buy a house in the first place. So I kind of just thought, do you know what? After I kind of calmed down about the situation, I just thought we can definitely manage. It's gonna be fine.
100%.
But then obviously, excuse me. Sorry, this is the worst day. My voice is mashed up.
Don't worry, the hay fever's killing everything.
But yeah, so I've thought to myself, all right, cool. I'm gonna, I'm definitely gonna put the time in at work because I do recruitment. So, with any sales job, you get what you put in. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, I'm gonna graft. I'm gonna make sure that things are set and patterned and whatever the case might be. But I had this, for some reason, I just had this idea that I'm gonna need this big lump of cash to pay for all the baby stuff. Yeah. But I found out as the process wore on, it doesn't work like that.
No.
It doesn't work like that.
Step by step.
It's step by step, and
because people think of having a baby shower and having a christening. Everyone obviously everyone gives gifts. All of that.
Exactly.
But that only fills a certain hole at that time. Yeah. You understand? Everyone that buys clothes and buys things, it only covers that time. Yeah. You understand? You have to think about when the baby turns 1 and 2 and
exactly. But I think because the baby was in happy circumstances, I wasn't afraid to tell everybody. So I could instantly just share my good news. Told? Do you know what I mean? Who was the first person I told?
Best friend, mom, dad. You have a sister, you said?
I think I've got 2 sisters. It may have been my older sister. But I remember she was almost 3 months pregnant when she found out. So I remember going to the 3-month scan.
Okay.
And they kind of said, due to a lot of pregnancies being lost in the first 3 months, keep a lid on it. And I remember me and her driving, and I pulled up on a random brother at the traffic lights, and I just told him. I just knocked on my window. He wound it down. I said, "You know what, brother? I'm having a kid. I just found out."
Very excited.
Because they've told me don't tell
But
everybody.
excitement,
but I want to share, like, because I'm happy.
You just
Like,
needed to tell someone.
yeah. I said, bro,
You know,
like,
today
why
you're knowing that I got a kid on the way.
That's
It's
it.
You.
That's it. So I was so I was excited. So not long after that, we was in a position where boom, you're kind of through that stage. You can start sharing the good
So
news.
at that time, when you found out that it wasn't all good and all clear, did you want to go and find out what gender you was having, or was you happy to wait until the baby was born?
No, I wanted to know. I actually wanted a daughter. So I have a son.
You're the first person on the show to actually admit that and say they wanted to have a girl first.
I wanted a daughter because I think.
Is it because you have a house full of females already, so you felt comfortable, or it was I felt, I don't know, like for me having a daughter, I love having like 50-50 is 50-50 clearly to have a son or a daughter, but like having a daughter gels well with me now. Do you understand? It fits well.
But I feel exactly the same about my son. But when we obviously after 5 months, I think you can find out.
Yeah.
So we went and we found out because obviously I got this yard sale going through. Everything's like I'm busy in it. So the last thing I want to worry about is like what clothes to buy and all that. I just want to know in it, so we can just get. He'll be my firstborn, and then if I have a daughter later down the line, she's got big bro. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, cool, I'm happy with that. And then so we ended up moving into the house in May. I think May time. So we did get in.
What year is this?
This is 2015. So we got in May 2015, and then my son was born in November. So that first few months, again, was a little bit stressful. The house was pretty much ready to move into, but obviously, with my son's mum, she wanted to have things a certain way. The nursery had to get sorted for him, like, and all that sort of stuff. So that whole process started, and by the time he was born, everything was pretty much sorted. But it was a very intense
stressful
few months,
situation,
like, proper, because it was like there's little costs involved in moving that maybe you don't know about. Plus, I've got the baby coming.
It's all a mountain of things.
with certain things that you must have in place before he arrives. You know what I'm saying? So being like 25 years old and dealing with all of that, I think it definitely grew me up fast.
It does.
It grew me up quick.
It does.
But I'm very grateful that I embraced the whole process. Like I didn't shy away from it. And I think if I be honest, the reason why I didn't shy away from it is because I've always had my dad in my life. So I've always had an example.
Did you go to him for advice?
Yeah, of course. Like
what advice that he told you that sticks in your head the most, if you can? Not to do this or do that, or this is because for me personally, like my dad is around and not around. So it's one of them when I remember telling him, and he was shocked. But he told me something that I'll never forget. But it was one of them, just make sure you're there every day. Yeah. That's what he told me.
I think my dad, by the time, obviously, I told him, he's at a level where he's got grandkids by this time already from my older sister. So his perspective was more just like an overall viewpoint as opposed to what you do when the baby just arrives. So he was he very much similar to what your dad said. He was like, be present, and kids will always remember the time you spent, not the money you spent.
Right.
So don't stress about what you can afford and what he's not gonna care. Until he's of an age where, you know, maybe he's seeing, you know, like social media's getting into him and he wants to, I need to have the latest this, that. Up until that point, all he's really
not even
care about,
that inclined now.
Yeah, like all my son cares about. I mean, as soon as I pick him up now from school, he wants to fight with me for the first 2 hours that we're together. Because I think...
See, that's love.
Because where he lives with his mum...
He can't do that.
He doesn't really do that with his mum. So when he's with dad now, he wants to get out all the the aggression and the boy energy. The energy. And I love it because I'm so glad that he's still able to be... he's a very... Like, he's proper... Like, he's a boy's boy. So he likes to fight. He likes to watch... you know, cartoons that involve fighting, Marvel, Spider-Man, this, that, you name it. And he loves dinosaurs. So he's into his dinosaurs as well.
So just touched on that subject where you say that you pick up your son from school. So is that your routine where you pick him up from school every day, or like when do you have him? Like, what's your routine?
Like I was saying off camera, I'm not particularly happy at this moment in time with the custody situation because I have him every other weekend, Friday to Sunday. but I live literally 5 minutes from his school, and previously 5 minutes from his nursery. So I've literally put myself
in a situation,
right in his life.
Yeah.
But I still, at this moment in time, don't get the custody I think I should have, because my thing is, I didn't come into this to be a weekend dad, and you got to remember the first 3 years of his life, me and his mum were still together
every day.
Exactly.
And we had an episode where we was talking about where if the mother of your child moved away, would you move away with them? You feel me?
Yeah.
It's you always want to be around your son.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Of course. Yeah.
And the fact that you position yourself in a situation where you're as close as him as possible.
Was that by choice, or was you like forced to kind of do so?
No, that's by choice, because obviously, so long story short, when we bought the house, we bought it as joint owners. Yeah. So I'm in a position now where if I want to do anything with my property, my son's mum has to agree. And at this moment in time, we don't agree. So
the house is just.
So
there.
I knew when the breakup happened, I knew that okay, she's gonna stay here. Yeah, because as the main carer, the roof has to be over my son's head. Exactly. So from there, I was like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna move as close as possible, and it's nothing to do with her or trying to manage what she's up to. I genuinely don't.
You need
care.
to be close to your son.
That side of
Simple.
things is done.
Simple. You
it's
have
just
to be
about
as close to your
it's just
son.
about making sure that me and him are as close as possible. So
you have to just in any emergencies.
There you go.
Bingo.
There you go. Any emergency, any phone
Bingo.
calls.
Exactly.
At the drop of a hat, I could be right by his side.
There. And I agree. Like my
Exactly.
daughter's nursery is literally like 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
And the situation is, I wanted that to be the situation.
Yeah.
Because I am flexible. I'm the most flexible. You understand? I work for myself, so
Yeah,
at a dime drop of a hat, I can be there. You feel me?
Yeah.
So it was definitely. That's a good decision you made. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure. Because so now what I'm saying about the custody side is, I didn't ever envisage in my head that I'd only see my child on the weekends. Because like I said again, my dad was there.
Right.
My mum and dad are still together to this day. So that's all I know is mum and dad together.
Exactly.
And whenever I come home or wherever
dad is there,
he's right
sitting
there
on the table.
So that's my example, and obviously that's as much as I can. I want to stay as close to that as I can with my son. So I want to be, he's just started school, so I want him to, as he grows in school and whatever, I want to be able to come to me in the week, we do homework, blah blah blah, and fingers crossed, I'm hoping that situation will develop over time. But it's frustrating because obviously we've only got one life, and I want it to be patterned. I've been trying to pattern it from before he even went to school. Yeah, and obviously we're not on the same page. So
and because I only want to speak upon that briefly, only because we've had DMs from dads,
yeah,
talking about court situations and they're fighting custody for their child and like mad DMs, crazy stories, innit? And we want to get one of the dads on here to explain, but without getting too deep into it, how hard is it going through that process?
It's extremely difficult because, like I said,
especially when you're not on good terms with the mother of your child.
Because what it was, we kind of, the relationship broke down slowly. So there was a period of time where me and her didn't do any socializing together. We were still together, but we didn't do anything together. So what that meant was, for me, whenever I was out the house, my son was with me.
Okay.
Just me and him, two man up, rolling everywhere. To go barbers, to go see my friends, see my family, mum and dad's on a Sunday, me and him. So to have that kind of taken away, you kind of this thing in your life that has been created by the birth of your child, you can't just condense it into 2 days every 2 weeks. It doesn't work like that.
And it's every two. You know what it is? It's like, because the power is with them. In the eyes of the law, the power is with the mum.
For sure.
And it's like something has to change. Something has to be a balance.
Yeah.
Do you understand? To give dads more rights. I'm so pro that, because it's like, it happened with my dad. And luckily we have the mother of my child has a mutual communication. You get me? Where I see my daughter a lot. You understand? I pick her up from nursery, I drop her to nursery. You understand? So it's so different, and I would want that for so many dads.
These are things that I would kill for.
Right.
To have that access, like that would be.
And I'm happy for that. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy for that.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah, so I'm kind of in a process right now where I'm a bit frustrated. But obviously, like, I find it's weird. I find myself getting more emotional or annoyed the closer to the time that he's gonna come. And the reason is because at the time when he's like on the Thursday before that Friday, I haven't seen him for
2 weeks.
It's been ages to me. Do you know what I mean?
Missed him.
And obviously he's still 5, so he doesn't have his own phone.
So, I was just about to say that. So do you have any communication with him when he's with the mum?
Yeah. So I speak to him almost every day.
Okay.
But again,
FaceTime. Call.
it depends. Like, it depends if his mum's busy or if she don't pick up or I forget or whatever the case might be. Because life is constantly moving, isn't it?
It is.
But I do check in with him. I'd say I'll probably speak to him about 4 or 5 times in that period of about 10 days.
Okay.
When I'm
but you're always
not with
there,
him.
you know, you're always accessible.
To
be contacted.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean? And that's the main thing.
Yeah.
As dads, certain dads, you just have to be present. You understand? And always just be on call.
Yeah.
There's so many dads that feel like they don't have the know-how or no, there's so many dads that feel like they don't have the right to be there. Do you understand? And then there's dads that they give up.
Yeah.
Too early. As soon as they break up with the mum and the privilege are provoked of seeing the child, it's like they do 2 things. They go hard through the court system, and the court systems are mad thing because it's money.
Yeah.
Or they just fall back and say, you know what, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
And they're the dads that just walk out. Don't be that. You get me?
Yeah. I don't.
Also, sorry to cut you.
Yeah,
Also,
no
to the mothers out there, put your pride to the side, man. Your kid is more important than your feelings. Always, yeah. Make sure the kid's father is always in their life at all times. Don't put your feelings into the situation and take that kid away from seeing his dad, man. Save yourself,
If he's a good dad.
If he's a good dad, of course, but save yourself the court fees because it's going to be expensive for you and him at the end of the day. It's all about being a good parent to your child, so don't do that.
So yeah.
Yeah, you're preaching, boy.
Yeah, I am. Do you know what it is? I hear a lot of situations from dads all the time. Like I get DMs from people saying, "Raw, I respect what you lot are doing, this and that," and it's just like a lot of people don't have the situation I have, and it's like I feel so sorry for them because I'm actually in a very good situation, like Jem, where I can see my son whenever I want. Now, I don't have an issue with the baby of my mum to see my son. Now we both put our feelings to the side and said, you know, we do what's right for my child at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's just unfortunate that I hear stories of females not allowing their kids to see their fathers because maybe he's cheated on them along the lines or he's done something to hurt her or break her heart, so she just wants to take the child away from that. Like I was speaking to a girl the other day, she was telling me, oh yeah, I stopped my son from seeing his dad because X next. I'm just in my head, I'm thinking, right, I can't even believe you're doing that. That's dreadful.
It is because the funny thing is, like, if the shoe was on the other foot, so
if the guys was in control,
if the guys was in control, I genuinely feel like most men would not even consider withholding the child from
No, of course not.
Because they recognize, no matter what, however I feel about her, I recognize her importance to him, and not to me, to him.
No, do you know what it is? The child notices things so quick.
Yeah.
Do you understand? The child notices. If there's a breakdown in communication and a relationship between the mum and the dad, the child instantly realizes.
Yeah.
And it's like my daughter's 2, and it's like she's realizing things so quickly. She's growing up so quickly, and it's just like I never want her to be in the middle of anything. Do you understand? And be or feel like she's the problem or she's the reason for any of the problems.
Yeah.
And so many kids, I feel like, get caught up in that.
Yeah, because like for me, it was tough settling him into living with me like part time. It was because I knew like he does understand there's been a change in his routine, but he doesn't know why, and he doesn't know if this is permanent. Do you know what I mean? And it was, I remember like him coming, so I've obviously got my place, you know, set up his room, whatever. The first time he came, like, he genuinely didn't realise he was going to sleep there. He was like, so when I'm saying, okay, son, let's put your pajamas, let's put you in the bath, and he was looking at me like, brother, like, what do you mean? I don't live here. Like, I live with my mum. Like, what do you mean? Get in the bath. Like, I'm ready to go home. And so but obviously at the time he was still 3 years old. So trying to explain to him it happened, and obviously because we're so close, like it wasn't an issue where he didn't want to. He just didn't realize these changes were going to happen. But I was there, you know. It was easy for him to, you know, even for the first few times for him to go to sleep and things like that. I made sure I had certain comforts from his home in my home. So I'd say, look, give me his favorite teddy. Do you know what I mean? So when he's with me, he can just he's got his teddy. He can go to bed. Little things like that. And I think for me, like, what is probably done for me, it's a bit of a strange one. I'd say it's a positive. Is because I don't live with him. When I'm with him, I pay more attention to him, to little things.
I do the same as well. Like, because I don't live with my son and I'm not there full time, unfortunately, I pay attention to everything. I just watch how he moves. I watch the things he does, and I'm just sometimes I'm just intrigued to just see what he does. You're
just soaking in his presence. You're literally when I pick him up on a Friday, like no one can't get through to me. I'm not like, brother, I'm with my son. That's it.
That's what it is as well. People, until you're a parent, people don't understand how important and crucial spending time with your kids is. Do you understand? And it's like, especially a weekend dad per se, it's like that is, you have to cherish those times.
Big man thing, because I hate being a weekend dad. So if any new dads out there, work out your situation, because being a weekend dad ain't the nicest thing. See it, knowing that your kid's there. And you're craving his time, his attention, and whatever.
You don't realize. I suppose as adults, we're more concerned with what we can do for them, but we don't realize what they do for us.
100%.
We don't realize until like now. There's like a certain feeling of that everything. When he's with me, I just feel like the world is moving in the right direction. Like everything's at peace with me. Like even if obviously like something mad could have happened that day, whatever the situation might be, but when he's with me, I just feel like everything is okay. Do you know what I mean? And that's very the reason why is because at the end of the day, we are meant to be there all the time. It's just our own issues as adults that we create with the mums and this and that. That means we're not. But whenever you're with your child, you just feel like, you're supposed to feel whole. That's the right word. That's what I was looking for. You feel whole. You feel whole for sure.
Understand? So, but I want to touch on like him, your son growing up, right? Obviously, like I said, he's in school. How was the transition going from nursery, like going from toddler to nursery to school? Because I haven't reached there yet. I think my daughter will be there in a few years. So
with my little boy, his mum is a nursery nurse.
Okay, that's
so
good.
he went to her nursery from the age of 3, I believe. So he was going to nursery part-time with his mum, and very quickly, because she's obviously got a degree in early childhood studies and she studied all this stuff, she's kind of put him at a big advantage where he came into nursery knowing a lot of the things that were being taught right? So I remember for the last probably 6 months of when he was going from nursery into school, he was so bored. So every time I'd be with him, he'd be like, "Daddy, it's boring." And I'd go and pick him up, and I'm noticing the way that he's speaking as opposed to the kids in his class. It's like night and day. Like because we just talk to him, innit? Like I've never done the
baby
gaga
talk.
thing.
The baby talk is never do that.
I've never really done that.
Kids don't become advanced if you're speaking to them.
And then now that he's hit school, like I got his first report in December, and it was just I was so proud because he just literally floated into school and just literally got on with it without any problems. Like he just smoothly made friends, smoothly started to learn. He's up to date or slightly ahead of where he should be in all of his learning objectives.
That's good.
So he's done extremely well. And in the backdrop of obviously transitioning from mum and dad both being there to just, to being
But sometimes that will make a child go left. You understand? A big transition going from nursery to school, as well as a big transition in his personal life. It could have worked out differently. But shout out your son, definitely.
I genuinely think like some things that he does or some of the intelligence that he shows it's not to do with his parents. It's just a blessing from God, if I'm honest. Like I don't know.
You can't explain.
I can't explain it. The way he
bro.
seems to be able to just deal with everything, like I just thank God. I honestly do. I feel like maybe it's because my parents are still in church and they pray for us or whatever. But there's some reason why he just seems to deal with whatever life throws at him
in a good way,
smoothly. Yeah, and I'm really like that. Just gives me a bit of peace about things to know. Okay, it may not be as patterned as you want it to be, but he's all right. You know what I mean, he's fine.
Good.
So,
That's the main thing. That's because at the end of the day, our kids are the main priority and 100%. The center of everything. Do you understand? So we never want them to be, upset. We never want them to be in any sort of harmful manner. Do you know what I mean? So it's good that he's definitely on course with everything that he's doing. How was he during not being at school? Because during lockdown.
Yeah.
How was he at home? Was he?
Yeah, I think.
Was that?
So that would have been his first year of school then.
Yeah. So his first year of school got absolutely skied. The coronavirus just mashed up his whole year. But so I think there was a period of. Was there a period of time when even key workers' children weren't allowed to go?
Yeah, that was towards the beginning, I
think so.
Yeah.
So there was a time when he was at home, and then because his mum's classed as a key worker.
Oh, so he
was going to school. But again, the fruits of that now, it's like this boy seems to turn every negative into a positive. Because now after the key workers' children were joined by the rest of the school, my son's telling me about his boys that he met from the key worker period where there was only key workers' children, plus the kids he already made friends with who were gone for that time. Now they're all back. He's just got bare friends.
Exactly.
Because they lumped all those classes together.
Them together.
Yeah, and he got boys from there and boys from here. So now he's one when I come to the gates and I'm walking out of school, every kid we pass is saying bye to it. Bye Joshua. His name's Joshua. Joshua, bye Joshua, bye Joshy this, Joshy that, and he's just there strolling. Just giving a little presidential nod. Yes, my brother. He's just walking through. He's just. That's nice. And again, I genuinely.
Do you think he got it from you?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm not as cool as him.
He just swag.
He's just got too much of everything, too much sauce, and it's just like I say, it's just a blessing to see, because I feel I wasn't that cool at his age. I'm not even that cool now, but he just seems to manage all his friendships really well.
That's good. That's really good. All right. Thank you everyone for watching DadsR'Us the Podcast. Thank you, Jake, for coming down. Appreciate it,
my
bro.
guy.
Thanks for having me, guys, man.
We'll catch you soon. Jem the engineer,
who is Kaii the People's Champion. We'll see you again next time.
Woo!